Hello everybody, Mr. Price here, and we're just gonna figure out how to construct this solar powered car. So right away, just open your package up by that nub and remove the contents. So you can get rid of that bigger bag. It should have 4 wheels, your instruction manual, the body of your car, and then a nice smaller bag with the more delicate parts in it. And as you open that smaller bag, make sure you keep track of all those littler pieces because they're all going to come in handy later. Okay, for the first step, we're going to need the body of the car, that green piece, the bag of screws, and those 4 metal pieces, triangle pieces. Let's get them out. And you can go ahead and open that bag of screws. And once you've done that, just take a look at that body of the car and make sure you notice the 4 outer corners of it. So there's the 2 pieces on each, 2 holes on the 4 outer corners, which we're going to be using for the next step. So now you're just going to want to grab one of those metal pieces and line up the 2 holes on one of the 4 corners. You can choose which one. And then you're going to take one of those longer screws, they're very little, and try to thread it into the hole there. Maybe screwing it in a little bit with your fingers, but then using your included screwdriver to get it all the way down. Now, once you've done that, grab one of those very small washers, those little circle donuts looking things, and thread it on to the screw from the other side. Oops. Yep, they're easy to lose. Keep track of those, but you have 2 extras. So just sort of using your finger, spin it on until it hits the bottom of that screw you have. All right, that's one down. Now just do the same exact thing for the second hole in your first corner. Just screwing that screw in all the way down and then grabbing one of the washers from the other side. Whoops. Yeah, this is the most tedious and trickiest part, so just try your best at screwing those washers in. It doesn't have to be perfect, and make sure you don't lose them. So there it is, that's one corner done. That's about what it should look like. And now you're just going to repeat that process for all 3 of the other 4 corners on your car. So good luck with that. I sped up mine a little bit. And there is the completed body of your car. If you've gotten this far, the hardest part is over, so nice job. Now, getting the screws and screwdriver out of the way, you're going to want your 2 metal poles and those 4 yellow small donut hole looking things. So just flip your car over and make sure the screws and those metal pointy things are pointing up at you. Now we're going to start with the metal pole with that white wheel on it. Now usually it's sort of in a stuck position somewhere along the pole, and we're going to want to push it to one side. So what I do is I use my sleeve and I sort of just push it down over to one side. And you want to make sure the little nub, the white nub on that wheel is facing inward, or it's facing the longer part of the bar. See that little white nub there? And just get it down to one side. And now is the fun part. Just thread that metal pole right through those top 2 holes in the triangles you've already built on there. And make sure your car is facing the right direction here as well. And then just repeat the process with that other metal pole without the wheel on it. Just slide that in, but watch out, it's very slippy around in there. Now just take those 4 orange donuts and slide them on to each of the 4 ends of the pole. This will ensure that those poles don't slide out anytime soon. And as you're putting those 4 ends on, you're going to want to make sure the poles can spin. And you can do that by making sure there's a little bit of space, a couple millimeters, between in those donuts. So they're not totally stuck on there. There's a little bit of leeway there. That way the bar and the wheels you're going to put on later can spin freely. Now it's time to put on the wheels, so just get out your 4 wheels. Here it's just a matter of sliding those 4 wheels on however you see fit. And again, make sure you leave a little bit of room in there so that the wheels can freely spin. Nice. So now it's time to put on the engine. So make sure your car is oriented like mine with the 2 large rectangles on the bottom. And then grab your engine portion. And just take quick note of the red tape on the bottom of both the solar panel and the engine. Once you peel that off, it's going to be able to stick to the top of your car. And before you peel that tape off, just make sure you get a sense of where you want the engine positioned. You want it so that the gears on both the engine and the wheel rotate each other and that they're touching each other. So now it's time to stick that engine on. So you're going to want to stick it about 2 circles above the bottom. So peel that tape off and just place it so that it's touching the wheel gear. It's about 2 holes above the bottom again. So just try to copy what I'm doing here to position it correctly. And just check to make sure that when you rotate the wheel, that little gear on the engine also spins. Again, about 2 holes from the bottom. Now just unpeel that red tape off of the solar panel and try to fit it to the best of your ability nicely onto the top of that car. And there's your completed solar-powered car. Nice job, everybody. Have fun.